Well, hey everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name's Jonathan and this is Mr. Pearson Talks Books. Today I have a library book haul that I want to share with you. I went to the library yesterday and I only went in to grab one book that I had on hold, but as you can see, I failed miserably. So I want to share with you the six books that I grabbed from the library. I have three middle grade books, one young adult novel, and then two books that would be considered adult fiction. The first one I want to share with you is called Ghost Scout's Honor. And this is the story of a girl named Evie who lives in Savannah where there are a lot of ghosts. And for some reason, this particular year, the ghosts seem a whole lot angrier than usual. And so she is trying to find out what is going on with the ghost and why they are doing what they are doing. I'm a sucker for a ghost story. I really like middle grade ghost stories and ghost fiction, particularly when there is a mystery involved as to why ghosts are acting a particular way. So this is Ghost Scout's Honor by Carrie Blankenship-Kramer. Another book that I grabbed, and this one was on the new bookshelf. I actually never heard of this one until I saw it. And this is called Sticks and Stones by Gary D. Schmidt and Ron Koertge. I very much mispronounced that name. So if you happen to see this video, sir, I apologize. But this is the story of a boy named Simon. He lives in ancient Greece and he drank from the river of forgetfulness, but he's trying to escape. And so after many failed attempts to get out of the underworld and get away from Cerberus, the three-headed dog, he manages to do so. And he wakes up in modern day Minnesota, I think it is. Yeah, St. Paul, Minnesota. Wakes up there. And so he has to figure out what is going on and try to stay away from all of the attempts of Hades to get him back. And he does so with the help of his new friend Zeke, who has a secret as well. So this is Sticks and Stones. Seems to be a mix of Greek mythology. So I think if you like Percy Jackson, I think this might be a good one for you. Looking forward to reading it and seeing what I think. I do have a secret though. I've never actually read Percy Jackson. I saw the movie, really liked it. It was kind of sad they only made two. Didn't see the TV show, but never read the book for some reason. Other book that I grabbed off of the new bookshelf for middle grade fiction was called The School of Thieves by Peter Burns. And if I'm not mistaken, this was chosen as the Children's Book of the Year by Barnes & Noble. But this is the story of, let me get his name. This is the story of Tom Morgan, who lives on the streets of London with his group of friends. So it kind of has some Oliver Twist type feels, but he gets invited to join a secret boarding school where he is taught all kinds of different things. This book has, from the blurb anyway, has some secret societies. It has some capers and some heist, different things like that, and a lot of danger. Like I said, it seemed to me to have some Oliver Twist feels, but it also has some Artemis Fowl feel. So I am looking forward to reading this and seeing what all the hype is about, particularly if this is the one that Barnes & Noble chose. And that's School for Thieves by Peter. This is The Scammer by Tiffany D. Jackson. Tiffany D. Jackson is the author of a book called Blood in the Water, which was a murder mystery set on Martha's Vineyard, which I read earlier this year and absolutely loved. In fact, that book, Blood in the Water, won the Edgar Award for Best Mystery for Middle Grade. And so this is a young adult book. This is called The Scammer, and it's about a girl who is going to college at, doesn't say, just says she's going to a historically black university, but then her roommate's brother ends up coming to live with them, and he just got out of prison, and he brings a lot of baggage and some danger with him. And so she has to figure out what is going on, particularly when one of her friends goes missing. If this is anything as good as Blood in the Water, I'm very much going to enjoy it. and that is The Scammer by Tiffany D. Jackson. Then, because I don't just read middle grade, I grabbed this book called Whalefall by Daniel Kraus. And the reason I picked this up is I saw that they're making a movie that's coming out later this year. And so I always like to read the book before I see the movie, just in case it intrigues me and I want to. But this is the story of a man who he is on what he considers a fool's errand. His father passed away in the ocean, and so he's diving trying to find his remains. And one day when he's out diving, he encounters a squid, gets tangled up with the squid, and then finds himself swallowed by a whale. And he checks the diving tanks and realizes that he only has an hour worth of air, an hour's worth of oxygen to be able to escape from the whale's stomach. And so this is the story of whether or not he does that. My friend Sean over at Sean Stevenson's Books, he read this book and was captivated by it. And so I thought I would give it a try, in addition to the fact that it's a movie. So I'm very much looking forward to that. So grabbed this book right here. This is an older edition, it looks like. But this is The Dark Tower, The Gunslinger. It's book 1 in the Dark Tower series by Stephen King. This is on my 50 books before I turn 50 list. Lots of people love The Dark Tower, are always raving about it. And so I thought that it was time for me to give it a try. So I grabbed book 1, The Gunslinger. You can see it's kind of short, so I may read this one next. This particular edition has pretty large print as well, so hopefully I'll be able to get through this rather quickly. But I am interested in finding out what all of the hype about The Dark Tower, The Gunslinger in particular, is. May have tried reading this once or twice before, but never really got into it. I seem to be in a better headspace for reading Stephen King and fantasy at this point. So there you are. Those are the 6 books that I checked out from the library when I visited this past weekend. I don't know if I'm going to get to all of them. That's the great thing about going to your library. You can see books, you can check them out, and if they appeal to you, you get to read them. If they don't, you can return them. But it doesn't cost you anything like going to the bookstore sometimes does. Anyway, that is my book haul for the library from this past weekend. Have you read any of the books that I showed you, and what are your thoughts? Let me know down in the comments if any of them appeal to you, or if you've read them and what you think. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. I'm very close to hitting 300. Would like to do that, and I have something special planned when that happens. But as always, my name is Jonathan. This is Mr. Pearson Talks Books, and I'll see you next time.